Imagine a world where ambition knows no bounds, where the hunger for success blurs the lines between reality and illusion. This is the story of Charlie Javis, a name that once glittered with promise, now tainted by scandal. Stay with us as we unravel the tale of a rising star who almost got away with stealing $175 million.
The story of a young tech entrepreneur facing criminal charges now. The 31-year-old is accused of fraud for allegedly trying to lure JP Morgan Chase so it would acquire her college financial planning startup for $175 million.
Javis is charged with multiple counts of fraud and one count of conspiracy. The Justice Department accusing Javis of falsely and dramatically inflating the number of customers of her company to fraudulently induce JP Morgan Chase to acquire Frank.
From the glossy pages of Forbes to the esteemed halls of Wharton, Charlie Javis epitomized the modern-day entrepreneur. With a vision that captivated industry giants and a charisma that won over the media, her journey seemed like a blueprint for success. But beneath the surface, a web of deceit was spinning, ready to entangle one of the world's largest banks. Her story, a blend of innovation and illusion, serves as a testament to the seductive allure of the entrepreneurial dream. Charlie's saga began with a revelation in Thailand, sparking the creation of PowerUp, a platform aimed at empowering the underprivileged with microloans. Yet as the layers peel back, the reality of PowerUp's impact and existence comes into question, casting a shadow on Charlie's altruistic narrative. This early venture set the stage for a pattern of grandiose claims with little substance to back them up. At Wharton, Charlie's star continued to rise, capturing the attention of Peter Thiel Foundation and securing her a spot in the limelight. But whispers of embellishments and half-truths began to surface, hinting at a pattern of deception that would define her career. Her ability to weave a compelling story became her greatest asset, even as it sowed the seeds of her eventual downfall.
The promise of Frank was that it was going to help a whole bunch of lower income people in particular make it easier to file their federal financial aid form.
It's totally free. That's really important to us for all students to benefit from. So a student takes a picture of their tax returns, then we do all the tax math for you. So no math errors that can put you into very complicated verification, very simple language. We take a flow that might take hours with the federal government, and most students take 4 minutes with us. So that's more or less how it works. You see how much you're eligible for, then you can go to school, feel confident, see what your bill is, and then figure out the gap to help you.
Frank promised to revolutionize the way students navigated financial aid, simplifying a notoriously complex process. The service offered expensive packages for optimizing students' chances of navigating financial aid for higher education, using FAFSA as a baseline guide. But as Charlie's venture attracted millions in funding and accolades, the foundation of her success began to crumble under scrutiny. The discrepancies between her claims and reality became too glaring to ignore, leading to a growing chorus of doubts about the legitimacy of her enterprise. The cease and desist letter from the Department of Education was just the beginning. The DOE made it clear Frank was not recognized as a FAFSA preparer in any capacity. Inaccuracies, misleading claims, and a refusal to confront the truth led to the cascade of revelations, each more damning than the last. As the facade of Frank crumbled, so too did the illusion of Charlie's infallibility. The unraveling of her empire was swift, as the consequences of her actions caught up with her. With bold claims and inflated numbers, Charlie convinced JP Morgan to part with $175 million for Frank. But as the due diligence unfolded, the staggering gap between reality and representation became apparent. The fallout was swift and severe, leaving Charlie's reputation in ruins and her future in jeopardy. The once celebrated entrepreneur now faced the harsh reality of her choices.
Now to a high-profile fraud case that's literally happening in front of us in real time. The 31-year-old accused of, quote, falsely and dramatically inflating the number of customers that the company had in a scheme to fraudulently induce JP Morgan to acquire the startup in 2021. She stood to gain more than $45 million from the alleged deception. In January, JP Morgan.
As the dust settles, the story of Charlie Javis serves as a cautionary tale for an era captivated by the allure of instant success. In a world where perception often trumps reality, the consequences of overreach are a stark reminder of the fragile line between ambition and hubris. Her journey from a promising entrepreneur to a cautionary figure underscores the importance of integrity and transparency in the pursuit of success. On April 4th, 2023, federal prosecutors in Manhattan charged Javis with wire fraud affecting a financial institution, securities fraud, bank fraud, and conspiracy. The same day, she was also charged with fraud by the SEC. She was released on a $2 million bond on condition that she surrender her passports and restrict her travel to New York City and southern Florida, and agreeing not to contact witnesses who are involved in the case. A 4-count grand jury indictment made public on May 18, 2023, in Manhattan federal court charged Javis with securities fraud, wire fraud, bank fraud, and conspiracy. Javis's story highlights the dangers of deceptive practices in the entrepreneurial world. Her ability to manipulate her image and create false narratives led to short-term gains, but ultimately led to her downfall. This case also raises questions about the unchecked enthusiasm during prosperous times, where unethical behavior can easily go unnoticed.